Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cardano Live. I have the Token team here with us. They're building the Token NFT Marketplace. With us today are Latheesan, who is with us, and Valentin also. And Latheesan, you're the Chief Technology Officer. Valentin, you're a developer, concept creator, and so forth. And so welcome to Cardano Live. Thank you for being here today, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
All right. And so the first thing we're going to talk about is the story in the background. How did you come to where we are today? Who would like to tell us a little bit of that story about why did you create the Token NFT Marketplace?
Well, I'll start with that. It's a convergence between a project that I had in mind a long time ago. So first, I have been interested in Cardano since probably before mainnet, few years ago now. I know it was last summer. And I was really thinking the project was really interesting as a blockchain project, probably the best project. So I started to think that I would need some tools in there more than in Ethereum that is very expensive. So I had a project about making some hard toys connected to the blockchain. So just after we had the fungible tokens available on Cardano, I started to draw a little draft about user interface to make a way to be able to connect some objects to the blockchain. And it came then after that we did that NFC and NFT and fungible tokens, non-fungible tokens and fungible tokens marketplace. And it was also related to the fact that I was on Frog's Pool, and they did the Space Coins project that get all along in the community. So they were also, because I was delegating to Frog, this idea, I asked Kyle if it was okay if I was dropping an offer for making a project with some members. Related at the beginning, it was supposed to be related to space coins. We were thinking that space coins could be the token that would be leveraging the transactions at some point. And then he said, yes, of course, you can drop a line. And then a friend of Latheesan said, oh, I have a friend that is probably interested in your project. And this is the way we meet through Frog's channel.
Yeah, okay. I have to say, sorry, but I feel like we converged at the same point. When you mentioned space coins, I was in the YouTube channel watching yourself and Kyle dropping space coins in the YouTube channel. And I remember walking away from that. Oh, I got 10,000 coins now. What do I do with it? Like, this is very cool. What can I, like? Why can't other people do this? And we left that stream thinking we want to do more with this very hard fork, and here we are.
That's awesome. Now, Latheesan, you're a developer, software engineer kind of guy, right? And you're writing the code running behind the NFT marketplace.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. And so, where are we at today? How far developed it? Actually, let's kind of isolate the question to what does the NFT marketplace allow me to do? Let's say I want to create NFTs. I want to buy, sell, trade NFTs. I want to interact with NFTs. What can I do with the Token website today?
Yeah. So when we started out initially, we wanted to have the perfect minting experience so that you are in control of the data that goes on it. And then you can withdraw it. You're not bound to a platform. So the experience that we created so far that we're hoping to release in the MVP on the mainnet is that you can mint an asset and withdraw it back, and along with the funds that you loaded up that you no longer need. Along with the minting, we quickly specified which different kind of assets you can create. One of them is NFT, non-fungible token, like the space bucks. And you can also create space coins like fungible token as well. So the idea for the second phase of this launch was that you can then list those assets that you minted directly on our platform, allow other people to start buying it. Now, initially we had a plan, and we actually had the code ready as well, roughly, to allow people to do that straight away. Like we can host your asset and then start selling it.
That was part of my original draft. I was thinking that before smart contract, we could make a platform that would work as an escrow. So the first draft was people could go on the platform, mint, and then expose the card, the NFT, and then someone could even, in the first process, I saw that someone could even come with your ROI and scan the QR code and say, I want it, and then we would have been working as an escrow and send it. Then we realized that we would have been able to really make sure that the owner and the seller, so there's all those technical elements that we implemented step by step. Then we figured out that we would have to recognize both the owner and the buyer, and we would need them to be both registered to buy. But all was here. And then we figured out, in a legal term, I have been talking to attorney, that if we would work as an escrow, we would also work as a trading platform. And in terms of legal stuff, it was very, very more complicated. So, which is why we decided to postpone the sell feature after the Marriott fork. And also, in the genesis, first we thought we could make a very open platform where everybody could put stuff on the wall, a little bit like OpenSea does with Ethereum. And then quickly, when some ideas pop up, even quickly than what we did, but we were really thinking ahead. We wanted to have a right metadata structure. We wanted to have a good interface, and that it could be, because it was based on space coins, we wanted it to be like communitary interaction sort of feeling stuff. And then we saw some minting platform that showed up, like deposit some ADA, and we will send you something, and we will mint for you, the automated minting platform. And then we saw those walls starting to be filled with porn and not very friendly stuff. Then I said, we need to make sure that our platform will have a sort of Latheesan moderation system, where
right, yeah.
people would be able to expose after a moderation process. And then we thought, if we do that, that might take a little bit too long to start. Then we talked about our project, and we started gather some artist feedback. I know that CryptoNitties has been starting talking with us, thinking that maybe he could launch his system on our platform. But then we were sort of too slow because we wanted to have the thing really right. So we launched it aside. But many other artists showed up, and then we say, we have here a community of artists, and we might use them to try to figure out what they need. For example, we have been developing with their feedback a functionality that allows not just minting one by one asset, but for example, making a batch of asset numbered from 01 to 100 and making some batch minting this way. This is already functional on Tokhun. And
I guess just to add
the batch minting method is already available. So is that what you're saying?
Correct. Except we're still on tested right now.
Okay. So we'll go into more detail in a moment. I just want to remind viewers, and then Latheesan, I'm sorry, I'll let you go in just a sec. I want to remind viewers, there's a demo in the description down below. So check out the description down below. You have Tokhun's Twitter feed where you can get updates on the latest information. They have a YouTube channel also linked down below. Check out their channel, subscribe to their channel. While you're down there, hit like and subscribe on this video to boost our metrics. Thank you for that. And there is the demo video where Liberty Crypto gives you a demonstration of how to use the platform in its current state on the testnet, right? And he gives a very good, very thorough description of how to use the platform on the testnet.
Thanks to him.
Yes, many thanks for that. So check out that description down below. And guys, what can the viewers do to help you all out? Will it help you if they get on the test net and if they bang away at your beta version? Will that be helpful?
For sure. That's why we deployed it there, so people can log in and then try to use it and then feedback to us. When I tried to do X, something went wrong, this or something didn't do anything, and with those feedback we've been quickly iterating, and already we have features on there that is actually feedback driven. One person tried to enter our competition recently we had and said, look, your upload size is 5 megabytes, it's not enough, we want to upload a bigger, higher quality, so we up the limit and things like that.
Okay, so let's say let me give you a use case example. Let's say I am Bob the digital artist, and I want to deploy my NFT. I want to deploy my digital art on Cardano because, man, guys, I got to tell you, Cardano's blowing up with NFTs. Very power efficient, extremely power efficient, extremely effective NFT platform. Cardano's killing it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Bob the artist, and I want to deploy my digital art, and I decide to use the NFT. What do I do? Well, how do I get to token? Can you walk me through it?
The first thing is you go to our website, tokhun.io, and then you see the community and you jump in the community. You can play around the testnet application to see if you understand it. Join the community, get help from the community because the community is very active and there is a lot of interaction with them. And if you're an artist, you can also apply to be part of the whitelist artist members, which we already have a bench of 10, and this is a very friendly community. I thank them a lot for all the help and the participation they have been doing. They're all sharing their input and their ideas and the way they're willing to work. This is where, for example, we started to really envision the way we wanted to make the metadata very, very well done. So what we're doing right now is sort of making a map of ERC 721 model, sort of in between ERC 721 and 1155, because we want to be we want it to be scalable. So we implemented that already. And many says, oh, we don't really know how to use this form field and what is it for, and they interact with each other and help each other very well. So joining here, maybe showing their work, a web page, and say, I'm an artist and I'm interested to do NFTs and Cardano, and knowing that we're not on mainnet yet, but we will be soon for minting and withdraw. And then what we can do is, if they're playing along and have regular good art stuff, we can whitelist them, and then they will appear on the wall. In the Tokhun testnet application, there is a wall where all the artists are already listed.
Okay. Yeah,
so I guess that's.
Go ahead, Latheesan. What I'll do is I'll screen share that in a minute, and we'll speak to it verbosely. Latheesan, you were going to say?
Yeah, just to add to what Valentin said already about this moderation functionality. Initially, we were going to do it manually, and it was going to be labor intensive. And as a developer, I said, I want an easy, cheap, and lazy option. And what it turned out to be is like a whitelisting model. So we wanted to quickly identify people who are actually building NFTs, who's not here for an exit scam, like, here's something I made, I want to sell it quickly. Who's somebody on Twitter and Instagram building a whole followers of their own, actually creating art with people who are genuinely interested in buying it. So the best way to get involved with Tokhun when we launch would be to actually come to the community, show that off, and get listed as a whitelist partner. What that allows us to do is, when we whitelist you, every NFT you mint in the platform, you can choose out of all the ones that you minted, which one would appear on the homepage. So this is how we do quality control on Tokhun. Not anybody's NFT will show up randomly. It has to be from a premium partner that they themselves chose to have whitelisted.
So after that, we decided to, so the sort of having a clean artist page was sort of solved, but then we say, if we do that, we're getting away from a lot of users. So the second part of it that we will implement is every user, even not whitelisted, we have their own marketplace. and this way they can advertise on their page and show their portfolio, and when the sell functionality will be available, they will be able to make some sales through it. And even those not whitelisted could have at some point a possibility to submit to the community the possibility to have the art on the wall. And the way we accept some other artists in the community is we usually submit the proposal, the submission proposal to the other artists. So this is really like a community elements. And then there will be like some passage from the wall community and the personal, because my first thing was saying, oh, and what if Charles want to mint his new Twitter and then he's not whitelisted? Well, if we do that personal page, he will be able to sell it.
Yeah, Valentin, I think that is a valid business model. I agree with your concept, because let's say I am shopping for NFTs and I want to find a premium marketplace with well-known, trusted artists and trusted developers where I will get the product I'm looking for. It's perfectly okay to vet your artist. Let's say I'm Bob the artist and I want to deliver my NFT on, let's say I'm Bob Ross, right? And I want to deliver my Bob Ross products on your website, of course, Bob's estate maybe. And I don't want it to get lost in a sea of random stuff, right?
Exactly.
I want it to be visible. And when people go to get my product, they know they're getting a quality product. They're not getting a ripoff. They're not getting a fake. They're not getting a counterfeit, right? Yeah. So I agree you have with your approach. I know some people think, oh, well, crypto decentralized exactly. Means you scatter everything to the wind and it's all a big mess. Well, there's pros and cons to that. The pros are you have maximum freedom. The cons are you have maximum scams. So there's a trade-off to everything.
We saw that popping up very quickly. So this is where we come up with this sort of separated. If you want to have your own page, advertise it on the way. It's not related to our main page. We'll still have our brand on it, but because you're using our tool. But as we have been seeing all that really scam stuff on the different walls, we have been thinking that was not. Another thing that you mentioned is very interesting is we will quickly, every artist will be able to say that the asset that they mint are check market, like blue marked, and we will be able to make a validation tool that will enable people to say, oh, I have the address, the ID policy ID of an asset, or I have an asset. I want to make sure this is from the original artist. So we will be listing some artists that are already in the market and enabled to validate according to their wallet and to the policy ID the fact that they're legit, and that will avoid having fake cryptognides or space buds or stuff like that.
Wow.
There's nothing stopping anybody like downloading the image from IPFS server of a crypto NFT and actually have the asset name exactly like for like, because Cardano doesn't prevent you from having things that are not unique. Anything goes. The only real unique stuff between asset is the policy ID, right? And because we have the platform where people are minting these from our system, for all the mints that happen on our platform, we can verifiably say that, okay, this is a verified asset because you minted it on our platform. Now, for something like a known asset, like crypto NFTs or 1 or 2, we say that, well, these are not minted on our platform, but we know these policy ID and combination of the asset names are known to be, the valid, already minted by somebody else. And so if somebody tries to mint that, well, go ahead, but you won't get the blue check mark, or we will actually probably display a warning saying that this is likely a fraud because we don't recognize the policy ID matching this asset name.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I've seen that happen on the Saturn network where they had to come up with a flagging system when things were deployed on the blockchain that were concerning, like maybe that's not what we want showing up over here. We did have a viewer question. I'm going to touch on that briefly. Your teammate is helping out over in the chat as well. I believe that's Liberty Crypto with the token account there. And Willie Marchetto had asked a question. I wanted to highlight the question. It's already been answered. Willie asks, will token support trading NFTs that weren't minted on your platform? Okay.
Yeah, I can take that question quickly from a technical
Yep.
perspective, and I'll pass it on. Yes, the trading is going to happen once we have smart contract. For the reason we outlined, we're not doing it without the smart contract because we want decentralized control over the execution of the sale, making sure the person who's buying it has the fund. So all of this can be done on a smart contract. But the main problem is all the assets that are minted outside of our platform, they don't. Nobody has conformed to a specific metadata structure. So when you mint stuff on Token, we structure the metadata in a way that it can be passed and displayed on our platform. So the approach we're likely going to take forward when we do start introducing sale of any minted asset outside of our platform is that we're going to first start to categorize it. Okay, what kind of asset is it? Is it a crypto NFTs or is it a Cardano gods or whatever? Because all of those, even though there are many of them, they all follow a particular metadata structure. So what I will be able to do is write a project-specific parser, and when we support it, we'll notify it on the page that, oh, we're now accepting trading of this particular asset, so that we can display it correctly and know how to work with it. But the short, long answer is yes.
All right. So currently, smart contracts are not needed. You have a working product on the testnet. And thank you for that question, Willie. Willie is also another one of our Cardano community developers. He was on Cardano Live episode number 16 with the project where he's deploying NFTs on the Cardano blockchain. So that was a really good question.
I heard the podcast. It was very interesting. I got many cool input from that, and that has been helping us, for example, challenging the metadata load that we could input in the in our system. So that that helps us cut a lot of hard work by having their feedback. Also, we have been getting a lot of help from Adam Dean that has been really helping us cutting edge on hard work, trying to improve stuff, because he's also developing his own NFTs. Market is providing NFTs for people, and in parallel, and the fact is what is doing for Frog Chicken. What's the Jet Chicken?
Jet Chickens by Frog.
Sorry, Kyle.
That's Kyle Solomon's team. Yeah.
Yeah, and but it has been working with many people to actually do the NFT for people. And as we have been working together, they will most likely be very quickly compatible with our system because we're using the same metadata structure and the same the same. So thanks a lot for all the input that he has been providing us, because we wouldn't be where we are actually with all his input. How do you call him, Latheesan?
Sorry, do you mean his pool?
No, his nickname. CLI Wizard?
CLI Wizard is rightly so. So he's been I know how to develop full stack application, working with the infrastructure and things like that. But even though I'm very interested in Cardano, I never actually dived into it at a CLI level that he has. See, for those who's not aware, CLI is the low-level tooling that's used to do things on Cardano before you can do things on what you do on the like a front-end application like Dateless. If you do when you use the Dateless wallet, what it's doing is sending commands down to the CLI, and that's the thing that is interacting with the blockchain, right? So I knew there was commands and documentation, but everything, if you try to read those docs and try to say specify the min UTXO while minting and then actually making sure the maths all checks out. So majority of the time, he's just helping me understand that, okay, look, this is the UTXO with the X amount of Lovelaces on it. And if you're minting this out, you reserve this for fees. And so we go back and forth. And one of the coolest thing we worked on, we kind of briefly touched on this before, which was, I think it was incorrectly named. No, it's not batch minting, it's actually serialized minting.
Yeah, correct.
And what it is that you have one image, which is the asset media, and it could have, let's say, up to a 100 asset uniquely named from 1 to 100. And the cool thing that we mostly worked out by Adam, is that we figured out a way to actually fit it all into a single transaction or a single UTXO while paying the lowest amount of min UTXO for generating that. So this basically translates to money saved to the person who's minting it.
Wow.
So what it does, it decreases the price in ADA of if you're
The platform fee, yeah.
making one series. It's like, for example, engravement printing. If you're making a series of 100 numbered from 1 to 100 of the same printing, then it costs, the more you do, the less it costs, and we have been able to manage it. And the batch minting I was talking about is more for collectibles series. For example, what does CryptoKitties and what does Spacebeds and so on. And in the roadmap, we have this idea of enabling to put a batch of images and a spreadsheet related to it, and then being able to mint the asset on demand, and this way having those collectibles distributed from the platform. So this is something that wouldn't have to be manual, but could be very, very easily done by anyone.
Yeah, there's an added bonus to not minting. There's an added bonus to minting on demand, which is if you're like CryptoNitties and let's say you had 5,000 assets, in order to mint 5,000 individually unique asset, you're looking to hold a big bag of ADA to actually support that. But being able to mint on demand, what it means is this, of course, has to have the market side to go with it. You can assume that a buyer looks at an asset, something like CryptoNitties, and say, oh, I would like to buy one. And they pay it. And when the transaction is paid, and that kicks off a series of workflow, which then goes, mint the asset on demand, using the UTXO of the payment that the user just made with, and then transfers it back to the user who just initiated the payment. So from a seller's point of view, you don't have to have the ADA upfront. You would just have to have worked out what your assets are, what the rarities are, what the combinations are, and things like that, and what the naming convention would be. From a buyer point of view, they don't know what they're going to get until they click buy.
So this is the random distribution that we also we're willing to implement in the system. And another thing that we want to implement that is very important for us is the royalties for the artist. So I had the question from Jonathan. Do you remember? Jonathan Dickinson. I don't know if you heard his interview from Cardano update. So as soon as I heard his interview, I have been calling him and say, oh, would you be interested in working with us? And he's having been a huge help in the community and very cheerful. This guy is very generous and his heart is amazing. So he has been recently saying, oh, I want to mint right now. So I say, I want to sell right now. So I said, you can't right now sell some testnet NFTs, but as soon as we're on mainnet. So you are asking me what would be doing an artist right now if you wanted to. So soon when we'll be on mainnet, you will be able to mint our asset from our platform. And it says, I want to sell them. So if you sell them, as we don't have smart contract yet, we won't be able to do the royalties we want to implement, because we want it exists already on Ethereum platform that you set a royalties, and the royalties follows the NFT, and each time it's traded, it's bought, there is a part that goes to the artist. So this is a functionality that I was really willing to put very, very soon on the platform. And then I say, if you sell them right now, you mint, and then you can sort of having some business with someone. He send you ADA, and then you can send it to you to the person address. So it would be a very manual way at the beginning, but as soon as we have smart contract, we can include the royalties within the NFT each time. So I was saying, if you're selling right now, you might not have the royalties very soon. But I had a discussion a little bit earlier with Latheesan, and we can sort of retro plug the royalties to an NFT that has been minted in our platform, and this way the artist will be able to, every time after Merry Artwork, every time someone will sell his NFTs, he will have a royalties on his pocket.
Wow. So hard work, yeah.
So right now he will be able to sell his art, and at some point we will be able to plug all the art that has been minted from Token to plug them into the royalty system, and this way they will be having some royalties every time their assets are traded.
Yeah. Just to quickly touch on that, this is what we talk to the artists.
Usually this is Rick that leads the show, but I think we have been completely overwhelming.
Apologies,
guys. The floor is yours. The floor is yours. You guys are brilliant.
So talk about,
People don't come here to listen to me; they come here to listen to you.
All right,
please.
With the artists, this has been it's been asked to myself a few times. Hey, that's great. I can mint and withdraw, but I actually want to sell it. We have always mentioned this to them. When we launched, we said the MVP would be mint and withdraw, and we're going to come up with the sale platform, whichever ways that is the best way to do it. Initially, we had a plan to do it. I don't want to go too much into the details, but there was a way to do it, but it was would not be legally compliant. Therefore, we said, okay, scratch that. We're going to go with smart contract way. So the way you could sell it is that, you take the ADA for that art that you just minted, and then have basically, instead of withdrawing it to your wallet and then sending it to them, you could just put the address of the person who bought it directly, and so our platform could send it to them. It's very simple and straightforward. Yeah.
Okay.
But before smart contract, we're not responsible if there is any issues between the dealers and the
exactly. So this is the whole point of the smart contract, is to alleviate this problem. For example, if there's an artist who said, "Hey, I've minted it, I'm ready to sell it," and they send you the ADA. What if the artist doesn't sell? So this is the kind of thing that smart contracts live to solve these kind of problems.
Yeah, and for viewers who are not familiar with what they're discussing at this point, is currently, if you want to buy an NFT, let's say a Cardano idol, Cardano bits, and any of the NFTs that are currently on sale, when they first deploy, you go to their website, you follow the directions, and you purchase it from their website. Okay.
Yeah.
And then if you want to buy it in the aftermarket, you go on a Discord server, and at the Discord server, there is a moderator there's a middleman who will help bring the deal together. So when you make an offer and the seller has the product, the middle person helps facilitate the exchange to make sure you got your product and the person got their money, the seller got their money. Okay.
What they call in the system, they call escrow system. An
escrow system. Yes. Thank you for calibrating me. That is correct. The escrow. So there's somebody managing the escrow process on the Discord servers. It's a manual process. It works. Some people enjoy it. They find it rather interesting and competitive. There are fees involved, yes. And there is still more risk than if you were to use a smart contract, right?
Correct.
That's right,
and people are smart. They will figure out how to make a business work. They absolutely will, like you guys have. So thanks for everything so far. If you guys would like, I'll give a brief demo. I'll pull up a screen share, and we won't do a demo. We'll just talk briefly to what's currently available on the website, on the testnet. There was one other question I was going to ask, and we'll get onto that, and then we'll be wrapping it up in about 10 minutes. And that question was, let's say I am Bob the artist, and I mint my token. Actually, there's two questions. I could talk to you guys all day. I really could. I'm Bob the artist, and I mint my NFT, my art on your platform. Where is it stored? Where does it go?
Very good question.
Okay, I'll take this one.
Yes, please. Thank you, Latheesan.
So, as you remember, Valentin mentioned he had a vision everything could be done using something like a Yoroi wallet. You would mint it and it would be there, and then the wallet would be authorizing the transaction, to pay for the minting fee, the mint UTXO. But unfortunately, we live we're very, very early to the game. If you can imagine, Ethereum has a MetaMask. We don't have something equivalent like that, where we could interact with the wallet that lives in your browser, like MetaMask.
Sebastian hasn't provided it to us yet.
Exactly. Maybe he's working on it. Who knows? So the approach I went for is there is a hot wallet stored on our server. So we create a new wallet for you per user when you log in. And because it's stored on our server and I want it to be secure, you basically encrypt it with a strong AES 256 encryption with a password of your choice. So you can relate this to similar to setting up a spending password on your dateless wallet that you set up on your computer. Now, there are no recovery phrases because these are just it's just a hotkey. So so what that means is, if not that it should happen, but if our servers were compromised and somebody managed to get hold of these keys, it's kind of useless without your password. And the good thing about the password is that I don't actually store them anywhere in our system, not in the logs, not in the database, not anywhere. That means that it's inside your brain or wherever you choose to keep that password. So that is needed every time you do anything. So when you are minting it, it's basically unlocking that hotkeys and then using that to fund the transaction and create the asset and store it there. And then when you withdraw it, again, you enter your password and it's unlocking it. And so it's basically locking and unlocking your wallet every time you do anything.
So basically, if from my less technical standpoint, what tokens does is every time someone registers, we're building an address for him, for the person, and then the person is having his only keys, and even not us have the keys. So these keys, if the user loses the key, he loses his stuff. But this is his responsibility. A little bit like the 25 words key for the wallets.
That's right.
Then this is his, even if it's on token, and the keys is his own, and all the assets and the Cardano is in the wallet. That even if we're hosting the wallet is into the blockchain, and he's got the keys. So even if, for example, we get hacked, and that was thank you, Latheesan, for that very clever idea, we can provide to the person the actual retrievement. I don't think this is the password. This is the seed phrase.
No, so the hotkeys are just a private key and a public key for the wallet address, right? So what Valentin's trying to convey here is that when even though we provision a hot wallet for you and then we maintain it for you, doesn't mean that you're locked down to our platform. At any point, it's not done yet. In the future, at any point you'll be able to download that, so that you too also have access to those hot wallets. So should anything happen and our platform goes away, it doesn't matter. Those wallets that we created for you, you have a copy of it. Yeah, they're yours.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that info. One last question, somewhat related, is I'm Bob the artist and I sell my NFT for 10 ADA. I minted it on the token platform. How do you guys make money? How do you support the funding of the platform?
There's two parts to it, okay?
Because it's important. It has to be sustainable.
Yeah.
So that's important.
So when you mint an NFT on our platform, it costs 2 ADA. That's the initial minting fees, because we have server costs and staff and marketing and everything, all that kind of stuff. So it has a flat rate regardless whether you're making NFTs or fungible token, just 2 ADA. Now, when the smart contract functionality arrives, this would be later that this is more prevalent, right? Not now. So when people sell an asset, the sales commission on every sale would be 2.5%.
Okay, so then that way you guys can roll that back into your funding to pay for the cost of the servers and your time and effort and all the skill that has to go into building this. Plus, you never know. This is the kind of team. You have more people on your team. It's YouTube, plus you have Liberty Cryptos on your team, possibly other people joining up. They're going to see this podcast. They're going to say, hey, I want to use that platform. This business could blow up. It could become huge.
Okay? Well, there's two things. We also know that right now, NFTs is art NFTs are really fashionable, and when I come up with the name token, I didn't want it to make it like just we can shift at some point with many other offers. What we provide is NFTs and fungible tokens for many other stuff than art in the future. Right now, we have an artist community, and the platform is artist oriented, and it will remain probably having a huge artist community session on it. But in the future, if the NFT art bubble sort of explode, if it's a bubble, or some people say that it might be even a pyramidal. Some paranoid people say it's a pyramidal system, but I wouldn't call it this way. But it might be a bubble. We don't know. At least we will have what. And your last interview about NFTs explained that very well. There is so many usage about fungible tokens. People agreement. It could be tokenization for example, making some coupons. You were talking since Cardano effect. You were talking about coupons all along, and of course, token might be used because we can do fungible tokens. Also use as a coupon system. So this is scalable. The platform will be scalable. Right now, we're very artist oriented, and we hope we might be able to sustain that orientation, but there will be many other possibilities in the future.
Yeah, I could put like business certificates on the blockchain. Like if my restaurant got a grade A rating, right? And restaurants in the US will put that somewhere visible for the public. You could also post that on the blockchain if you wanted to. You know, for the year 2019, I got an A, 2020, I got an A, 2021, I got an A. There it is, publicly available. It might be hard to get to. You make it easier for people to get to it. And yeah, any kind of certifications, registrations, things that you want to be publicly visible with permanent storage, which leads to my third question, which was, do you plan on using IPFS in the future, or do you have some type of redundancy? I know you guys touched on the security side of it. Is there some redundancy in there as well?
We're currently using IPFS.
And so when I upload it, it pushes it out to the IPFS where it lives forever.
Yeah, pretty much.
As long as the internet's there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I was looking at your webpage and I was like, where does it go? This is really cool. It's super cool. Where does it go?
Into the interplanetary system.
And there is also something you touch point on is the team stuff. We have been helped with many very nice people in the community, and I have been saying always that the Cardano community is really helping community. Frog has been helping us, Adam Dean, Liberty Crypto, and Anthony from Bloom Pool. Some people has been offering their help, technical advising and stuff in many levels. So just to we're about to become a company, but we're more like an organic organization right now. And you were talking about team. We're more like a friendly community than a team. Or right now we're getting there. We're about to build up the real thing. But also so this is not a job offer, but more like a friendship offer. Right now, we're running out of front-end developers and also people that would know more. We can get some by contacts, but know about Myriad Fork development. If anybody want to join and help us building the things and being part of the team, you're more than welcome. It's not a job offer. It's more like, and if we're getting to be something, which I think many people tend to believe we might become, then you will you will be part of it. Is it okay if I'm saying that to your show rate?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. The only thing I cannot do, or that I will not do on this show by policy, is I do not do giveaways. I do not promote individual coins or individual tokens. And I do not accept ADA, and I do not accept tokens, right? But okay. But if you need help and you're saying, hey, we're looking for partners to work with us, that is perfectly fine, because we are building a massive system here. Sebastian, Nico, and Robert were here. They need employees. They're hiring employees. But you guys, you're looking for people who would like to join your team.
Yep, correct.
Become part of something bigger that can eventually turn into a business, because we are early. We are way early.
And this is what we're trying to do. Some people say you're kind of slow or stuff like that. And this is something we have been saying many times. We're Cardano way. We're trying to build stuff in a grounded way and with feedback and sort of scientific approach, which I love about Cardano. And we don't want to rush putting something that everybody will try to play with and mess with it very quickly. So we tend to have this approach in the way we're thinking the product. So
exactly.
we don't
I don't want to have to wake up at 12 o'clock in the midnight or 2 a.m. and say, oh, something broken, or we have to fix it. In blockchain, there is no such thing as undo or revert. So whatever we do, we better get it right.
Oh man, yeah, there is no undo button in blockchain, which is a good thing.
Yep, that's freaky.
All right.
That's freaky. When people will start posting snuff movies in the blockchain, that would be freaky.
Oh God, someone's already thought of that. Probably. I mean, it's probably out there.
Don't give them any ideas.
So crazy mafia snuff movies on the blockchain. That's freaky.
Or maybe just something to point to the movie. So the last bit we were going to touch on here, a brief share of the website. We're not actually going to do the demo. If you want to check out the demo for anyone who's recently joined, check out the links down below in the description. There's a link to the Token.io YouTube page. There's a link to the demo. There will be more demos coming soon. They'll be very thorough. So those are going to be videos that stand on their own. We don't have time to actually do it during the podcast. Just wanted to show you the website on the testnet. It's testnet.token.io, tokhun.io. And very interesting that you have this up and running. I'm assuming there's code running in the background that actually handles the transactions. And this is the visual where people can go through, find things that they're looking for and select it, or actually find things that they want to list, right? If I'm an artist and I want to list something, I can do that from here.
Yeah,
so
these are
just to right now the UI is sort of very rough, and we have a vision for very fluidify the interaction, the UX and the UI. So which is why I was saying that if anybody is a front-end developer and want to join, it will be welcome. Right now, the UI is sort of rough, but as a UX designer, I have many ideas to make a good site and help the front-end developer, helping us doing it right.
So, Rick, what you're looking at here is basically all the assets that has been minted by our premium partners that they chose to list it publicly. If you click on them, at least click on the name, for example, the first one, Rabbit Bull 001, it will take you to the actual Cardano Transaction Explorer, where you can actually click on Show Unmoderated Content to actually reveal all the metadata that encompasses this asset. So you can see all the things that is basically permanently part of the blockchain, things like what the original artist intended to be part of the blockchain when they minted it. Yeah.
Just about the rabbit bull, I just have a sort of, I just made this one just before the show because we have been discussing that. I actually have the real stuff here. So it's a rabbit bull, and in the metadata you have the unique the unique ID of the NFC, and then it's linked to one another. If I NFT, if I have NFC it, I will have the same result as what we have here. So there could be an interconnection between real objects and those. This is
we put the
side project I have.
Yeah, part of the initial. One of the things we wanted to do was in the metadata actually put the initial policy script that was used when it was minted along with the IDs. So there's no mistaking that this is the same asset. For example, if somebody copied this and then pasted it, they won't have the same policy ID as well as the one that they're copying from. There's a lot of cool information in the metadata. So if we quickly go back to the home page, and if you click on any of the images, so what you're looking at here, this was a bit of a technical reason why I did this. The preview image that you see is actually on the from our server. Yeah, so the preview image is from our server because we wanted that page to load fast as possible, because if every image people upload are 10 megabyte each and we're showing 9 picture, that's nearly 100 megabyte download per page load, right? Which is, people will come to our website and leave immediately because nothing is loading. So by showing a thumbnail picture, but then clicking on the actual image, you see the high quality original upload the artist had uploaded. And you can see in the URL, they're all being served from IPFS.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So so I don't need to know how to operate IPFS. I just need to learn how to use your simple to use website, upload it there, and it will take care of making the entries on the blockchain, and it will take care of the upload to IPFS.
Yeah, correct. Something that people might not know, but some key attributes about your asset is actually also created as metadata on the IPFS as well. Because IPFS is, again, another blockchain, and when you upload them media, you can set the metadata on them. It's not visible on the page, but if you query the IPFS for that particular hash, you can get that information.
Cool. Wow. So you have the IPFS, you have the metadata, and wow, this is really neat, guys. You did some incredible work. This is awesome. And so what I'm imagining, so I'll bring down that screen share, and we got to wrap it up in a minute. We've been going. I wish I could be here all day, guys. This is incredible learning from you. We'll have more podcasts in the future as developments occur. Please come back to Cardano Live and tell us more. I would love to have you guys come back. Absolutely fantastic.
I know sometimes we tend to be very technical. Sorry about that.
That's okay. The technicals are good. The technicals are great. If people want to see great technical videos, check out Andrew Westberg's channel and he does videos called Nerd Out. In his Nerd Out videos, he will take one slice of Cardano, like the dataless wallet, or how do UTXOs work? And he will do a deep dive and he will nail it like precision. It's a great resource. Nerd Out, great videos. Check those out over at Andrew Westberg's channel on YouTube. Great stuff. So we got to do deep dives once in a while. We got to hit on the details. Last question, last point. What I imagine is in the future, what we're going to see is something like Token become kind of like a shopping mall, where if I'm a vendor, let's say I sell shoes. I'm a vendor who sells shoes, or I'm a vendor who sells tacos. And then you go to a shopping mall and you set up a shoe store, or you set up a taco store, or you set up whatever store, right? And then Token once smart contracts are out, it's eventually like the shopping mall where people can go and select coupons. Let's say I want Bed Bath & Beyond coupons. And I could go into that shopping mall and I could select coupons and then select what kind of coupons do I want. I want Bed Bath & Beyond coupons, and I click on it and I see that they're uploaded. Then I can get my coupons there, or I can get art. I'm imagining this. Is that pretty accurate? That's where you're headed with this whole thing?
Yeah. The difference is we have the main shop, and we have the Etsy kind of personal shop. So, and they're not ultimately interconnected. So that might be the difference between your view. Some people could advertise their shop and build up their shop, their Etsy shop. And for the one that are listed, we will be the mall, and we will be showing all the best marketplace in the ecosystem.
Obviously, we don't want to forget individual artists, who's not yet authorized to be part of the main public-facing artwork, right? So this might actually be their application to enter that program. Start a store like Etsy and start getting a few sales. In the future, we might say that you must have at least 10 sales to prove that your work is quality enough that it could be added to our premium partner list. So when you're private, your artwork that you upload doesn't appear anywhere, and we don't run the risk of losing our quality. So when you get approved, it's actually a good thing, because then your art will have more visibility, so that when you turn on sale on your art that you just minted, it's instantly available to thousands of people who's going to be looking at it, who wants it.
And the other thing Latheesan is currently working on is thinking about APIs that will be possibly interconnected with other marketplace, and people could just mint in their own stores, in their own URL, from their own URL, and then having the connection with Token.
That's incredible. So you know what, Valentin, Latheesan, thank you for being here, guys. I very much appreciate it. Let's say goodbye to our viewers for today, we will be back in the coming weeks and months as more developments occur on your token platform. Feel free to hop on over here on Cardano Live so we can get the latest information out to the viewers. Sound good?
Thank you for your welcoming, Rick. That was awesome. And thank you for the way you put people at ease, because
and thank you for being here. Thank you all to all the viewers for hanging with us, and feel free to share these videos with friends and family. Hit like and subscribe below. Everybody have a great day. You gentlemen have a great day. Good night, everyone. Good afternoon. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Thanks, everybody.